AM 560, The Answer. Welcome to Remarkable Radio, the show where you'll meet noteworthy people, places, and things from around the country and in your town. Your host is best-selling author Mark Imperial, celebrated marketing strategist, branding expert, and voice for some of the world's most famous and loved brands. Remarkable Radio is sponsored by ImperialAction.com, the only integrated media and digital marketing agency specializing in helping small business and professional practices attract customers and clients for life. Now, here's your Remarkable Radio host, Mark Imperial.
I'm Mark Imperial, and now in my next segment, I'm calling out to business owners. When was the last time that you got real value from your pay-per-click management agency? Can you remember the last big idea that they implemented to justify their fees? If it seems like your agency's well of creativity has dried up, then you need to listen up, because that's what we're discussing on the show today with George Krahn. George is the owner and Internet Business Strategist at Proven Results Marketing Agency. He's been doing PPC since 2007, which is a lifetime in Internet years since things change so fast. Although he's the owner of a thriving marketing agency, George continues to be a lifelong learner. He's an avid student of Perry Marshall, who I've actually interviewed on the show. He's the guy who literally wrote the book on Google AdWords and Facebook ads. So it's great to have George on the show. George, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's great to be here.
So there's hundreds of pay-per-click management agencies and freelance PPC managers out there. What makes you and your agency stand out from the pack?
Well, we made a huge leap when we started to apply the 80-20 principle to everything we were doing. I know you're familiar with 80-20, but for the listeners out there who aren't, it's basically a principle that says 80% of your results comes from 20% of your efforts. And that was a huge paradigm shift for us. It allowed us to make much more effective use of our time, and we make much better use of our clients' advertising budgets. So we test vastly different ideas instead of small variations. Things like testing Facebook ads versus Google AdWords. And within Google AdWords, we test things like display network versus search network. So we look for the exponential changes versus the incremental changes. The 80-20 principle gives us the ability to achieve these breakthroughs, and we're able to spot the small hinges that swing big doors.
Now, it's pretty bold to call your agency Proven Results Marketing Agency, right? You can't realistically expect people to believe that you'll get amazing results for every business. What do you do when you have a challenge or come up against a wall?
That's a great question, Mark. We position ourselves to try to prevent that. We're very selective with who we work with. So before we work with a business, we do a full analysis of their PPC accounts, landing pages, and sales funnel. And if we think that things look great, then we're fine with telling them that. And often we find big opportunities, though. These are things that the business owner might not be aware of, or things that their agency has missed.
Now, you mentioned that you're very selective in who you work with. Would you mind sharing some situations where your agency may have had a challenge in the past with a specific type of a client?
Yeah, not a problem. We haven't had a great track record with startups. These are businesses that haven't been as profitable with their products or services yet, so they're just getting going. They really haven't got it figured out yet. On the flip side, we really shine when we work with established businesses. These are companies that have been doing PPC for a few years already. So basically, we can go in there and we can see that they have lots of data, and we study that. We can see what worked and what didn't work. So we can also go in there and then we find those 80-20 opportunities that I talked about.
Hey, George, we've got about a minute. I kind of wanted to pick your brain and ask you, what would be the number one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who was considering using a PPC manager or agency like yours? What should they really look for in a PPC agency?
They should be just as selective with who they work with. So they need to find someone who's a good fit for them. Just because you have an agency doesn't mean that they would be the best fit for you. So the same thing when businesses are working with clients or customers, they're usually very selective, and they should be that way with the agency that they choose as well.
Fantastic. George, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they wanted you to take a look at their online advertising accounts?
Well, the best way is to just learn more about us by going to our website, provenresultsagency.com. Our phone number and contact form are there. So if they think that we'd be a good fit for them, they can get in touch with us there. So again, just go to provenresultsagency.com.
Terrific. provenresultsagency.com. George, it was terrific having you on the show today, and I wish you much success into the future for you and your clients.
Thanks a lot, Mark. It was great being here.
Thank you. It's Mark Imperial. This is Remarkable Radio. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, another couple of fantastic guests in the studio joining me here in our Chicagoland studios. We'll be right back.
AM 560, The Answer.